This video is about 3 habits that slowly destroy even the healthiest relationships without you realizing it. You're going to learn the psychology behind why good relationships start to go cold even with 2 people who care, the 3 toxic habits that often fly under the radar until it's too late, and a simple step-by-step fix to help you turn things around in less than a week. If you've ever thought, we love each other, so why does it feel off? This video is for you. So the first part, why good relationships fail silently. Let's get real for a second. Most relationships don't end because of infidelity, abuse, or some major betrayal. They end because 2 people who care about each other slowly disconnect. No one cheated, no one screamed, but one day you wake up next to someone who used to feel like home and now it just feels like you're coexisting. It wasn't one big moment, it was thousands of small ones. So here's the uncomfortable truth. You can love someone and still destroy the relationship by defaulting to unconscious habits. Why? Because love is emotional, but relationships are behavioral. They're built, maintained, and eroded by the small repeated things we do every day or don't do. Psychologically, we're wired for pattern behavior. When we feel safe in a relationship, we often relax into autopilot. An autopilot in relationships tends to look like the following: tuning out instead of tuning in, prioritizing logistics over connection, and assuming your partner already knows how you feel, withholding truth because it's not worth the fight. But what starts as just being tired or just being practical slowly becomes emotional distance. And here's the kicker. When connection breaks slowly, you don't notice you're losing it until it's already gone. So the stakes are pretty high. You start to communicate just enough to get by, intimacy becomes either scheduled or avoided, and conflict doesn't get resolved, it gets buried. You begin to think, maybe we've just changed, when in reality, you've just disconnected without realizing it. And this is exactly why we need to talk about the subtle habits that quietly kill relationships. Because the scariest part is, you don't see them happening in real time. So my question to you guys is, have you ever been in a relationship that felt fine on the surface, but something in your gut knew the spark was fading? If you feel that way, comment below. Part number 2, the 3 habits that quietly kill relationships. Now let's break these habits down, not in abstract terms, but how they actually show up in your day-to-day relationship. And again, none of this makes you a bad partner or a bad person. These habits are human, but if left unchecked, they become the default setting that pushes people apart. So habit number 1 is dismissive listening. When you hear the words, but not the emotions underneath. It's when your partner's talking and you're half listening, thinking about how to respond, already forming a solution, distracted, but pretending not to be. At first, they might let it slide, but over time, they will stop opening up. They'll edit themselves. They'll say, never mind more often. And eventually, they stop trying to be heard at all. This habit often comes from good intentions. You're trying to fix things. You don't want to make them feel worse. You're tired and don't have the energy for another talk. But here's the deal. Most people in relationships don't need a solution. They need their experience to feel valid. If you keep offering logic when they need presence, they will stop trusting you with their feelings. And I hear you, but I'm not a mind reader. Exactly. And you don't have to be, but you do need to stay curious. So here's something you could try. Say this: hey, before I jump into advice, do you want me to just listen or actually help problem solve here? It takes 3 seconds. It saves 3 years of emotional shutdown. Habit number 2, contempt in disguise. When frustration leaks out as humor, sarcasm, or subtle put-downs. Most people think of contempt as aggressive yelling or insults, but in real life it often shows up like this. The eye roll when they tell the story, the passive-aggressive joke that hits a little bit too close to home, and that I was just kidding when you know you weren't. Contempt isn't just criticism, it's criticism with superiority. It says, I don't just disagree, I think I'm better than you for it. And over time, this creates a shame-based dynamic where your partner feels small around you, they stop being vulnerable, they begin to shut down emotionally or withdraw altogether. So why do these habits happen? You might have unspoken resentment, you don't feel heard, so you lash out in micro ways, or you were raised around emotional deflection, meaning jokes are greater than feelings. But let's be clear, sarcasm isn't intimacy. It's often just resentment dressed up as humor. But I hear you, we both just joke like that. Maybe, but if it's not building connection, it's breaking it. And if you want to test that theory, ask them privately. Hey, when I made that comment earlier, did it feel like a joke or a jab? Then be ready to hear the answer without defending it. So my question to you guys, have you ever joked about something that was actually a complaint in disguise, or been on the receiving end of that? Comment below. And part number 3, the fix, a 3-step reset to rebuild connection. Let's be clear. By the time someone's looking for relationship advice online, they're already at a crossroads. Not necessarily on the brink of breaking up, but stuck in a pattern that feels heavy, unspoken, disconnected. The good news, connection is repairable, but only if you catch it early enough. So here's your plan. 3 dead simple steps, 1 week, 0 fluff. Each one targets the emotional need that those 3 bad habits quietly erode. Feeling seen, feeling respected, and feeling safe to love and be loved. So step number 1, the 5-minute check-in. Relationships don't need grand gestures. They need intentional micro moments of presence. So every day for the next 7 days, schedule 5 minutes, literally 5, just to check in with each other. No distractions, no phones, no multitasking. Sit together and ask each other one or more of the following questions. What's something I did today that made you feel close to me? Is there anything that felt off or unsaid between us? What's one way I can support you better tomorrow? This isn't about fixing anything. It's about showing up with full intention, which might be the one thing they haven't felt in a while. Why does this work so well? The nervous system registers presence as safety. When you give someone uninterrupted attention, even just 5 minutes, you tell their entire body, you matter, you're not invisible here. And that is how trust gets rebuilt. And I understand, I don't have any time every day. Yes, you do. You just haven't prioritized emotional hygiene the same way you do physical hygiene. This is the brushing your teeth equivalent for your relationship. Skip it too often and you'll start to wonder why things start to decay. Step number 2, replace sarcasm with soft honesty. This one is tough because it feels so much easier to joke than it does to be real. But here's the thing. Most sarcastic comments are just honesty that's afraid to be vulnerable. So for the next 7 days, when you catch yourself about to make a dig or a joke with an edge, pause. Ask yourself, am I joking or am I just hurting? What's the honest thing I want to say that's underneath that I'm avoiding? And then reframe it using soft honesty. Hey, I think that joke I made came out wrong. I'm actually feeling a bit disconnected and I didn't know how to bring it up. It'll feel awkward, of course. That's how you know you're breaking the pattern. So why does this work so well? Sarcasm protects your pride. Soft honesty protects the relationship. If you want intimacy, you can't keep outsourcing your discomfort to humor. You've got to let your partner meet the real you, not just the defended one. And I hear you, but if I say what I'm really feeling, won't it start a fight? Maybe it might, but a short, honest conflict is healthier than years of subtle tension that never gets named. And step number 3, the no tally challenge. This one's counterintuitive, especially if you already feel like the one who does more. But for the next 7 days, I want you to stop keeping the score. So what does that mean? Don't count how many times you initiate. Don't mentally log every time you did more. Don't punish them with coldness if they forgot something. Instead, approach the relationship from intentional generosity. I'm doing this not because I owe them or they owe me, but because I choose to create a relationship that feels loving. And yes, you can still have boundaries. If imbalance is real, you bring it up directly, not through quiet resentment. Why does this work so well? Keeping score puts you in a transactional mindset. It turns love into business, and businesses don't thrive on affection, they thrive on equity and output. But relationships, they thrive on mutual care, spoken needs, and unspoken safety. This step clears the emotional clutter so you can actually see whether love is still alive or if you're just cycling through resentment loops. And I hear you, but if I stop keeping score, won't they take advantage of me? That's the point of the exercise. You'll see their true character clearly when you stop emotionally micromanaging. If they show up, you've got something to work with. If they don't, that tells you what the relationship is actually built on. So here's the 7-day challenge summary. Write these down, stick them on the fridge, try them for 1 week. 5-minute presence ritual every single day. No sarcasm, just soft honesty. No scorekeeping, give with intention, not obligation. This is not about becoming perfect. It's about shifting the atmosphere back towards connection, clarity, and care. So hopefully now you've got the tools. You understand why good relationships fade, not through chaos, but through quiet habits. You know the 3 destructive behaviors most people overlook. And you've got a clear 7-day plan to rebuild connection one small moment at a time. Comment below which of these habits have you caught yourself in before, and if you're ready to do this differently, not perfectly, just consciously, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We'll keep making videos like this rooted in real psychology, not fluff, because good love isn't luck, it's practice. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I've been Jack, and I'll see you at the next one.